All right. Live for Friday's MLB Picks. Nice slate today. Um, Yesterday, wash of a day. Kirby Yates bouncing that ball right in front of home plate. Screwed the Rangers. I mean, both teams kind of screwed themselves. They should have scored more, but we didn't lose 3-2 after that first inning. I mean, that inside the Parker too. That was rough. That bounce the ball took off of the wall um, was perfect for Minnesota there. They uh, they had their chances, but no dice. So um, we get it back today. Just gonna hop right into the first game. All right. First one I am playing is the Royals at the Reds. I am playing Reds on the run line at plus 150. Um, we look at the Reds at home. They've been very good. They've won their last 14 or 15 straight at least. Um, they've won them by 2 runs. Um, they show up at home. They get the job done. And then if we look at Royals, oops, I there we go. Royals, their last 10 games, they're 4-6, and if we look at their losses, they lost by 10 at Minnesota, 5 at Minnesota. They lost by 3 at St. Louis. Um, they did lose by 1 against Boston, but they lost by 4 against Boston. So I mean, 4 of their last 5 losses, they've lost by 2 plus. And then we've got Nick Martinez going. Nick Martinez, he's been solid. Let me just pull up his numbers here. If we look at these game logs, um, he's been coming out of the bullpen lately, until recently. His last 2 games at Miami, 4 hits, 5 innings, 0 earned, 5 strikeouts. And then he went to Milwaukee. He had 7 innings, 1 hit baseball with 7 strikeouts. He was really good, and against that Brewers offense, he put him down. So they ended up losing that game, but it was a 0-0 game. I mean, they weren't able to score at all, and he held down the Brewers. So I mean, that was a good showing from him. Other than that, he started prior to these last 2, May 22nd. I mean, the Padres hit him up for 5. And who else? It was again the Padres for 5. Philly got him for 5. Mets for 5, and then Washington got him 3. But other than that, he started coming out of the bullpen. He'd been really solid. Um, and then he started the last 2 games, and he's looked really good. 12 innings of no runs, 12 strikeouts, 5 hits, and no walks. He's been really good. And the Royals, we know they strike out more on the road. They're a little worse on the road than they are at home. So I like them to help out here. And then we look at Michael Lorenzen. He's been rough all year. And this is a road game. Those are the ones that he struggles in the most. Um, I mean, he's got a 3.99 ERA on the road. If we look at the last previous here, St. Louis, at Kansas City, which you could kind of still say it was a home game, 3 earned, and then Detroit and Toronto 3 weeks ago. He faced Toronto back to back. That one Toronto game in Toronto, in Toronto he gave up 4. He didn't even make it out of the first inning, and then he went again, 4 innings. And the other thing here is Lorenzen doesn't go deep. This guy's going 5 innings. The last time he went 5.2 against Detroit, so congratulations. But prior to that, you have to go back to June 18th where he went 6 innings. And that he's just kind of been all right, nothing great. And if we look at right-handed pitching against for the Reds here, the Reds are yeah, yep, that's the date I'm looking for. They're, I believe, top 11, 10. Yep, they're top 10. Number 8 in WRC plus versus righties last 2 weeks. 7% walk rate, only a 20.6% strikeout rate. They're slashing 252, 311 with a 475 slug, 224 ISO. and 111 WRC plus. They've been really good, and if we go to the hard hit percentage, they're number two behind Minnesota versus righties in hard hit, 36.7% with a 45.3% fly ball rate. They got a 16.4% home run to fly ball rate. So they're getting the ball in the air. They're pushing it out. They've been really hitting the ball hard. And pull up this weather here. There it is. Where is it? Just saw it. Yeah, it's blowing out to the left field corner, left field wall. 8 miles an hour, 85 degrees, 70% humidity. And Michael Lorenzen, he's given up 5 home runs in his last 6 games. 2 last game to St. Louis of all teams. He's not striking out a lot of guys. So I mean, I like the chances here. And then let me just look at Royals on the road. The Royals are, they're getting 2-3 runs off of right-handed starters, which that's fine. But I mean, 5 of their last 8 road games were against Detroit and the White Sox. I mean, and they put up 6 on Drew Thorpe, 4 on Kiter Montero. Other than that, 2 against Zebby Matthews, 2 off of Pablo Lopez. Louis Varland gave up 3 through 6 with 2 off of 2 bombs. So I mean, they can hit the homer, but Nick Martinez also is fairly decent at keeping the ball in play. He doesn't give up a lot of fly balls and deep hits. So the fact that we also get this Kansas City bullpen. If we look at it the last, let me check this out. Last 7 days. We look at Kansas City's bullpen. They're 6th xFIP. They have a 503 FIP right now, 457 xFIP. They've got a 10.7 strikeout to walk ratio, but teams are batting 328 off of this bullpen. This bullpen's just giving up hits, giving up runs. 63% strand rate, 179 WHIP. I mean, they're not that sharp. Whereas we look at Cincinnati, they're 10th best. They have a 244 FIP right now, 365 xFIP. Teams are only batting 173 off them, 0.03 WHIP, and then 86% strand rate. So I know Bobby Witt can easily leave the yard, hit a solo 2-run shot or something. But I like Cincinnati here. They've been playing really good baseball. They're at home where they've won 14 straight on the run line. We'll get our chance at this Kansas City bullpen no later than the 6th inning because Lorenzen doesn't go deep, and if they get to him sooner, it's just gonna be that's just perfect. So give me the Reds on the run line here at -1.5. Next game, going to Pittsburgh, Mariners at Pirates. I am actually on the Mariners money line here. I know they just got their shit rocked in Detroit here, but I mean, Paul Skeens here. I was looking at his last 3 weeks. Paul Skeens. He's got a 307 FIP with a 401 xFIP. He's got a 50% ground ball rate. Still has a 41.5% fly ball rate. 20% hard hit rate, which is, I believe it's one of the best on the board. But if we also look at Logan Gilbert on the road last 4 weeks here, he's got a 352 xFIP, 23% strikeout rate, only a 5% walk rate. 49% ground ball rates. He's keeping the ball in play. I know the Mariners have been absolutely awful lately. But I mean, just off of that Detroit series, they just got embarrassed by the Tigers. I really like them to show back up here. I mean, Skeens is on 100 pitch count limit at most. And I believe he's been getting a little, he's been given up some runs, I believe, lately. I just had this in front of me. Now it was gone. Not like he's getting like rocked or anything like that, but he's Yeah, I mean, last game at the Dodgers, can't really fault him for it. 6 innings, 4 earned. Arizona, 2 earned. Houston, 1. 2 against St. Louis, 2 against the Mets. I mean, so there's that. I mean, he's 8, 6, 4, 8 strikeouts. Um, he's had 7 walks his last 3 games. 7 walks, 7 earned. So he's kind of just. I don't know if it's the fatigue that's starting to get to him. I mean, he was dominant, and now he's just walking some guys. The strikeouts are down ever since that Milwaukee game. I mean, prior to that Milwaukee game, he'd had 8 or 9 strikeouts plus in about like 7 games straight. Now he's getting a little hit up here. I know Seattle sucks. They got rocked by Detroit, but if we're looking at this versus righties here in the last 2 weeks, Seattle is middle of the pack, but they do have a 12% walk rate, 30% strikeout rate, no bueno. But 107 WRC plus, they're slashing 213, 329 with a 366 and a 153 ISO. Um, where just trying to find their hard hit percentage. I know I just saw it. Where the hell are these guys? Well, I'm not. There they are. All right. They only got a 29% hard hit, but they do have a 12% home run to fly ball ratio. They got a 45% fly ball. They're not grounding out a ton, so I think they can put the ball in play here. And I mean, Pittsburgh has been pretty abysmal lately. And I know they went against the Padres and all that stuff, but their bullpen is very bad. They show up to games, they just give it all up. Um, Seattle here, where's that bullpen? Man, am I blind? Where is Seattle? I cannot. There they are. Yep, they're 10th. They got a 512 a FIP with a 450 xFIP, so they should improve a little bit. 14.7 walkout to strike to walkout ratio, 271 average, 133 WHIP, 81 and a half strand rate. But if we look at Pittsburgh here, they've got a 12 and a half strikeout to walk ratio, 244 average, 128 WHIP, 73% strand rate. And they have a 318 FIP right now with a 461 xFIP. So they should be giving up, starting to give up more. I mean, they've been somehow all right lately, according to paper, but also according to paper, they're going to be should be worse. So I like Seattle here to get it done behind Logan Gilbert. If they got a chance to win, it's going to be with him on the bump. He's been really good. Paul Skeens has, but he's also starting to give up more. And the pressure's on Seattle here. I mean, they're starting to lose this AL West division. I mean, they had it all season. Now they're 3 games back. They're starting to skid. I think that day off yesterday, not a far travel spot from Detroit to Pittsburgh. I think they're going to be able to get it done here against Paul Skeens. This game may be 1-1 after 5-6 innings, but once that Pittsburgh bullpen comes in, I got faith in Seattle that they can at least get it done. I mean, they still got guys: Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh. Now I'm drawing a blank on this roster. Victor Robles. They still got guys, but they're just not doing anything lately. I think this will be a good spot for them tonight to get a W here, and start getting back on track. All right. Next play, we're heading to Houston. We got the White Sox at the Astros. I took the Astros on the run line here, plus 115. I know it's Garrett Crochet. I really don't care. Crochet has been abysmal since he didn't get traded. I mean, if we look at this, I mean, and he's also not going deep. They used a lot of his innings up early, and now they're just putting him in 2, 3, 4 innings and pulling him, which is perfect to get to that bullpen. I don't even have to explain that. But I mean, last game he got 7 outs, 7 earned, gave up 4 bombs, 5 strikeouts. Um, and then at Minnesota, he went 4 innings. He got 1 earned, 4 walks. So he got lucky. He gave up 5 hits or 1 hit, 4 walks. Only struck out 2 um, in 4 innings and didn't get rocked. But prior to that, Seattle, he gave up 3. They scored 5 via errors. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Went 3 innings. Texas, he gave up 2 through 4 with 2 walks, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. So I mean, he's not been the same Garrett Crochet as of late. And Houston, we know versus lefties, they're having a little bit of a downer year versus them, but they're still very good. Jordan, Altuve, Bregman, McCarthy, Myers. They've got guys. They can get to Crochet here. They only strike out 21% of the time versus lefties. So I don't think Garrett is going to slice and dice and go 5, 6 innings like usual. He's probably going to go 3, maybe 4 innings, and then it's all bullpen after that. And Arrighetti's been better at home. I like the way Arrighetti's been playing. At home, on the road, I want no part of this guy. But at home, I mean, he's got a 382 FIP, 336 xFIP at home in the last 4 weeks. 30.66% strikeout rate, which is perfect going against the White Sox here. He's got a 15% home run rate. So that's he does give up the long ball a little bit, but hard hits 30%, 36% fly ball rate. So I don't really see anyone on the White Sox that are really going to crush him. I know they just had a monster series versus the Yankees. That's going to skew their numbers a little bit here on paper. But Gil, he's a rookie. He was kind of due to get shelled. And then who was it? Will Warren, I believe it was, or whoever that was the other night. He gave up some runs too. So I'm not too worried, especially after they scored 12 runs like 3 days ago. They're definitely just probably not going to do much of anything. So Houston at home on a Friday, won 8 straight. They're trying to extend themselves in the AL West here. I believe they're just gonna dog walk the White Sox here behind Arrighetti on the mound today. So I took him on the run line at plus 115. And then the next game here, I played the Guardians. Guardians Brewers. I played the Brewers money line here at minus 102 last night. Guardians have actually struggled versus righties on the road. Since June 15th, they've played 16 games against a righty starter. They've scored 3 or more only 4 times in that stretch. They have not been good. Last 2 weeks versus righties, 27th in WRC plus, 83 WRC plus. The only teams worse, Colorado, Angels, Tampa. So they're not very good. Yelich is having back surgery today, so I think this team's really going to rally up and show up for him. Other than that, that is what I am playing today, and that should do it. All right. Yep. All right.